Okay, so we want to continue fleshing out our self-care plan. And that means working through the headings that I have put down in the compassion-based self-care plan and trying to identify the things that work for you so that you've got those reminders and those prompts. So the headings that we continue on with is when working with clients, I will. So I really want you to reflect back on the things that you have read through and practiced and experimented with about how to ensure that you tune into your own needs when you're working with clients. Now, this might be in between working with clients, or if you're somebody who has long sessional time with clients, it might be actually about when you're within those sessions. And this is really just being aware of some of the different strategies that might work. So I want you to think about when working with clients, I will, and you might identify that you might make sure that you do some sensory grounding work. You might ensure that you reconnect with yourself every about 20 minutes and just have that sense of, grounding and self-awareness. It might be that you put in intentional breaks between your sessions and you use some form of modality, whether it be oils, whether it be breath work, whether it be a reflective piece, to bring yourself back into presence. And this is just a reminder that we need to build in these practices when we are working with our clients, not outside of that workspace. So have a think, see what it is. This is definitely going to be a work in progress. This is going to be something that's going to ebb and flow and change. But I want you to start thinking and naming one or two practices that you're going to intentionally do when you are working with clients. And then the next section is about your non-negotiables. Now, this is going to be something which is a bit more specific, and it's going to be very personal to your own circumstances. It might be something to do with your family commitments outside of work. It might be something to do with taking on extra responsibilities within work. It's going to be something that, you need to work at these ones in as they come up and as they feel really important to you. This is not something that you have to have something in, because if you identify something as your non-negotiable, then it's something that you are making that commitment to yourself that you will honor. So don't put things in here for the sake of it. Don't say, my non-negotiable is that I'm going to finish at 3:00 once a week, if that's not an essential element for you. But again, I had things in my working practice. My non-negotiable was that I had to be out of the office by 5:05 because my children needed to be picked up. So whilst it was a necessity, it was also a non-negotiable. And with your non-negotiables, the importance is letting people know, letting people understand why it's a non-negotiable, what it means, and the significance of it. Because that's great. We've all got certain things which need to happen. And so, just be okay with being able to identify, name, and own those things that you need to make non-negotiable for your own well-being. And then, work on making sure that you honor that commitment to yourself as well. We'll go into the next phase of looking at support. So who you can use for support. For support I can use is to do with maybe resources that are available within your organization. As helpers, we know that sometimes receiving help can be the hardest thing. Within lots of organizations, we will have things like employee assistance programs. Now, whilst they are not always tailored the best to the specific needs that we have with the vicarious trauma, they are great for that earlier stage support. So try not to wait until the end and the breaking point before you access these supports. They're available, they're free, they're provided by your employers. So use them. So, it might be that you do connect in with your EAP, every so often, especially if you're not getting any other, supervision or clinical support that's available. That might be a personal connection that you can have there. So have a look at your organization and have a look and see what supports are available, what is on offer, and think about, rather than thinking about, oh no, I don't need to take up that service, I don't need to be a burden on using that resource, reframe that thinking and saying, actually I am doing, I am supporting the organization, I'm supporting my clients by accessing these resources to benefit my own health. Obviously, if there are limited resources in your organization itself, then you might want to look a bit broader about what other support resources might be around. And the final area that I've linked in there is about accountability buddies. And I love this idea because I mistakenly tried very hard to keep a clear separation between friendship and work. For me, it was something that I had got into my mindset that it was important know, to maintain a professional relationship in work and not necessarily tip into that personal friendship side. But there is research that shows that having a trusted friend, a companion in your workplace is really supportive for our well-being. We know that, that's why we all get devastated when one of our colleagues moves on to somewhere else, because we know that we will feel a loss of that. So, talk to your colleagues, talk to your buddies, your friends, and identify who's going to be your accountability buddy. Is there somebody who you trust and honor with sharing this journey with you, that you can connect in with, and be a support for each other to make sure that you are investing in your own wellness and well-being? It might be useful if it's somebody who understands your profession, who is, working in a similar field, because then you can take it to that deeper level that we're looking for here. But if not, even just somebody, a friend or a family member who will support you in supporting yourself is really important. So as I say, in this section, work through, have a look, think about the things, and just start to flesh out the detail within your self-compassion or compassion-based self-care plan.